Welcome to Inner Peace Journey. Have you ever wondered why life throws its toughest challenges at you when you least expect it? What if these struggles weren't random, but instead they were carefully designed to unlock your highest potential? In today's video, we're diving into the 9 spiritual tests that shape the strongest, most resilient souls. These aren't just ordinary challenges. They're the kind that force you to confront your deepest fears, let go of control, and emerge transformed. Each test is a gateway, a step closer to discovering who you truly are. From facing your authentic self to awakening to your life's purpose, this journey isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those ready to rise. Are you one of them? Stay with us as we uncover the secrets to navigating these tests and stepping into the powerful, fulfilled life you were meant to live. Let's begin this transformative journey together. Test 1. Facing your true self. The first test demands that you confront the essence of who you are. In a society obsessed with labels and achievements, we often mask our vulnerabilities and insecurities. But this test strips away the external markers of identity, your career, your relationships, your possessions, and forces you to ask, who am I really? This isn't a fleeting question. It's a profound journey inward. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This test challenges you to take off the mask and meet yourself, flaws and all, with honesty and grace. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not just to see your reflection, but to truly see your soul. Stripped of titles, accolades, and roles, you're left with your raw, unfiltered self. This is terrifying for most because it reveals truths we'd rather ignore, insecurities, fears, and unmet desires. But confronting these truths is the gateway to transformation. Think of this as peeling back the layers of an onion. Each layer you remove brings tears, but with every tear, you get closer to the core of who you are. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she struggled with self-acceptance, constantly questioning her worth. It wasn't until she embraced her vulnerabilities, her past, her flaws, and her authentic self that she found her true power. Oprah's journey shows us that self-awareness is the foundation of greatness. You cannot build a meaningful life on a shaky sense of self. This test also demands courage. It's easy to define yourself by external achievements, a promotion, a relationship, a social media following. But what happens when those things are taken away? The answer lies within. Facing your true self is about owning your story, even the parts you're ashamed of. It's about acknowledging your fears and limitations while recognizing your unique strengths. One exercise to help with this test is journaling. Set aside time to write about who you believe you are without mentioning your job, possessions, or relationships. Ask yourself, what do I value? What drives me? What do I fear? Let your thoughts flow without judgment. You may uncover surprising insights about your true essence. Another powerful tool is mindfulness meditation. By sitting in stillness and observing your thoughts, you learn to detach from external identities and connect with your core being. Over time, this practice reveals the patterns and beliefs that have unconsciously guided your decisions. Facing your true self isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong process of introspection and growth. Each time you revisit this test, you peel back another layer, uncovering more of your authentic self. And while the journey is challenging, the reward is invaluable. A life lived with authenticity, clarity, and purpose. Test 2. Embracing solitude and silence. In a world that never stops buzzing, solitude can feel terrifying. Social media, work obligations, and constant chatter drown out the most important voice, your own. The test of solitude demands that you sit with yourself in silence. You'll confront the fears, desires, and thoughts that have been buried under the noise. This isn't just about physical isolation, but emotional and mental solitude. Elon Musk, known for his innovative ideas, has credited moments of solitude as key to his breakthroughs. It's in these quiet moments that your inner voice, your intuition, becomes loud and clear. The question is, can you sit in silence long enough to hear it? Solitude isn't just about being alone. It's about being fully present with yourself. In the silence, the distractions fade, leaving you face to face with your true thoughts and emotions. For many, this is an uncomfortable experience. The fears you've suppressed, the ambitions you've postponed, and the truths you've avoided all come rushing to the surface. Yet, within this discomfort lies the potential for transformation. Consider the story of Henry David Thoreau, who retreated to Walden Pond to live simply and reflect deeply. His time in solitude not only gave birth to one of the most celebrated works of American literature, but also shaped his understanding of purpose and connection to the natural world. Thoreau's experience shows us that solitude isn't about escaping life, but engaging with it on a deeper level. The benefits of solitude are profound. It's in these moments that you reconnect with your intuition. Think of it like tuning a radio. The static of daily life fades, and the signal of your inner wisdom comes through clearly. This is where the most meaningful decisions are made and where creative breakthroughs happen. Many artists, writers, and leaders, from Virginia Woolf to Steve Jobs, have credited solitude as a source of inspiration and clarity. To embrace this test, start by carving out small pockets of time each day for intentional silence. Turn off your phone, step away from distractions, and simply sit with yourself. It might feel awkward at first, but this practice grows more rewarding with time. During these moments, focus on your breath, observe your thoughts without judgment, and allow your mind to wander freely. You'll be surprised by the insights that arise when you're not trying to control the narrative. Another powerful exercise is journaling after a period of solitude. Write down whatever comes to mind, your fears, your hopes, your observations. This act of recording your inner world helps to crystallize your thoughts and makes your subconscious more accessible. Solitude also teaches resilience. When you can find peace within yourself, you become less dependent on external validation or distractions. This is the essence of true freedom, knowing that your sense of worth and direction comes from within, not from the opinions or expectations of others. The test of solitude and silence isn't easy, especially in a world designed to keep you busy and distracted. But if you can endure the initial discomfort, you'll discover a wellspring of wisdom, creativity, and strength that can guide you through life's challenges. The real question is, are you brave enough to sit in the silence and truly listen? Test 3. Letting go. This test is about releasing the emotional baggage we all carry. Grudges, expectations, and disappointments weigh us down like anchors. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging to what no longer serves you. Oprah Winfrey has spoken openly about her journey to release toxic relationships and embrace freedom. It's not an act of weakness, but of immense strength. Each time life asks you to let go, it's a chance to lighten your load and make space for growth. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack up a mountain. Wouldn't you drop the unnecessary weight to climb higher? Letting go is one of the hardest lessons in life because it challenges the very fabric of human attachment. We hold on to people, dreams, and outcomes because they feel safe or because we fear the unknown. But what happens when holding on causes more harm than good? This test asks you to examine your attachments and decide which ones are lifting you up and which ones are dragging you down. Take the story of Michael Jordan. After being cut from his high school basketball team, he faced immense disappointment. Instead of clinging to the pain of rejection, he let go of the doubt and channeled his energy into relentless self-improvement. That act of letting go wasn't about forgetting the setback. It was about using it as a stepping stone toward greatness. His story shows how releasing negative emotions can transform failure into fuel for success. Letting go also means releasing expectations. Many of us script our lives with rigid plans, expecting things to go exactly as envisioned. But life rarely follows a straight path. J.K. Rowling's journey is a testament to this. Facing countless rejections before Harry Potter became a phenomenon, she let go of immediate success and trusted the process. By surrendering her timeline, she allowed her vision to flourish in its own time. Forgiveness is another key aspect of this test. Holding on to anger or grudges only poisons your well-being. Forgiveness isn't about excusing someone's behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. Nelson Mandela's ability to forgive his captors after 27 years of imprisonment exemplifies the transformative power of letting go. His forgiveness wasn't weakness, it was strength that paved the way for unity and healing. Practicing mindfulness can help you let go. When negative thoughts arise, instead of pushing them away, acknowledge their presence. Ask yourself, Is holding on to this helping or hurting me? Visualizations are also powerful. Imagine your emotional baggage as a balloon. Picture yourself releasing it into the sky, watching it float away, freeing you in the process. Letting go isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing journey. Each time you release something that no longer serves you, you create space for growth, joy, and new possibilities. Remember, growth often requires shedding old skin. The question is, what are you ready to let go of today to rise higher tomorrow? Test 4, the dark night of the soul. This is where the journey becomes grueling. The dark night of the soul plunges you into despair, where everything familiar crumbles. Careers fall apart, relationships dissolve, and purpose becomes elusive. But this isn't punishment, it's purification. Nelson Mandela endured 27 years of imprisonment, yet emerged with a vision of unity and peace that changed the world. In the darkness, you discover what truly matters. The universe asks, how much darkness can you endure before you rediscover your light? Those who pass this test are never the same. They emerge stronger, clearer, and more aligned with their purpose. The dark night of the soul is not just a period of suffering. It is a catalyst for transformation. Imagine being stripped of everything you thought defined you, your job, your relationships, your sense of stability. It's terrifying, yet liberating. This test forces you to confront your deepest fears and insecurities, to question everything you've ever believed about yourself and the world. But in the destruction of the old lies the opportunity to rebuild something truer and more enduring. Consider the story of Maya Angelou. Early in her life, she experienced unimaginable trauma and loss, which led to years of silence. Yet in that silence, she found her voice, a voice that would later inspire millions through her writing and activism. Her journey through the darkness exemplifies how this test can pave the way for profound self-discovery and impact. The key to navigating the dark night of the soul is surrender. Resistance only deepens the pain. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting that you are in a period of growth, even if it feels like decay. Think of a seed buried in the soil. In the darkness, it germinates, preparing to break through the surface into the light. Similarly, the dark night of the soul is a time of unseen transformation. It's preparing you for your breakthrough. To endure this test, you must cultivate trust. Trust in yourself, in the process, and in the idea that the universe is working for you, not against you. Practices like journaling can help you make sense of the chaos. Write about your fears, your confusion, and your pain. Over time, you'll start to see patterns and insights that point to the lessons hidden within the darkness. Another powerful tool is seeking connection. While the dark night often feels isolating, you are not alone. Many who have walked this path before, from spiritual leaders like Thich Nhat Hanh to contemporary figures like Glennon Doyle, have shared their experiences to remind us that there is light on the other side. Reading their stories or joining supportive communities can provide comfort and perspective. Most importantly, remember that the dark night of the soul is temporary. It's a phase, not a destination. Each moment of pain is a step closer to clarity and purpose. When you emerge, you will carry a new sense of resilience and understanding. You'll no longer be defined by external circumstances, but by the strength and wisdom forged in the fire of adversity. So ask yourself, how will you face the darkness? Will you let it consume you, or will you use it to ignite the light within? The choice is yours, and the journey, while daunting, holds the promise of profound transformation. Test 5, faith. Faith in this context isn't tied to religion, but to the unshakable belief that life has a plan, even when it doesn't make sense. This test comes during moments of uncertainty, where the path ahead is obscured. Steve Jobs famously said, "You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future." Faith isn't blind optimism. It's courageously walking forward, knowing that every step matters. The chosen ones trust the unseen forces guiding them, even when logic and reason fail. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. It's the quiet voice that tells you to keep going when everything around you says to stop. During this test, life often presents challenges that seem insurmountable. A job loss, a broken relationship, or an unexpected setback. These moments are designed to shake your confidence and force you to question your path. But faith steps in as a guiding light, reminding you that adversity is temporary and growth is inevitable. Take the story of Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Her career has been marked by injuries, setbacks, and critics doubting her ability to return to the top. Yet, she has repeatedly demonstrated faith in her abilities and her journey, using every setback as fuel for her comeback. Her story teaches us that faith is not about ignoring reality, but about believing in your power to rise above it. Faith also requires patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, waiting can feel unbearable. Yet some of the most beautiful outcomes in life take time to unfold. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His faith in his vision, even after countless failures, eventually led to the invention of the light bulb, forever changing the world. To cultivate faith, start by focusing on small victories. Celebrate progress, no matter how minor it may seem. Each step forward reinforces the belief that you are on the right path. Surround yourself with stories of resilience and perseverance, whether through books, podcasts, or conversations with mentors. These examples remind you that you're not alone and that others have faced and conquered similar trials. Another key practice is visualization. Imagine your future self, thriving and fulfilled, having overcome today's challenges. This mental image serves as a powerful motivator, keeping your faith strong even in the darkest moments. Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the journey. It's the courage to take the next step, even when the destination isn't clear. And when you lean into faith, you unlock a resilience and determination that can carry you through anything. So ask yourself, can you trust the process, even when the outcome feels uncertain? Can you take the leap, knowing that the net will appear? Test 6, surrender. Humans love control. We plan, organize, and strategize, believing we can shape every outcome. But life often has other plans. The test of surrender demands that you release your grip on control and trust the flow of life. Imagine swimming in a river. If you fight the current, you exhaust yourself, but if you let go, the river carries you effortlessly. Surrendering isn't about giving up, it's about aligning with a greater intelligence. This test asks, can you trust that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't? Surrender is one of the most misunderstood concepts. Many equate it with weakness or passivity, but in reality, surrender requires immense strength and courage. It's about acknowledging that you don't have all the answers and allowing life to unfold in its own time and way. This doesn't mean abandoning effort or ambition. It means letting go of the need to micromanage every detail and trusting that the universe has a plan. Consider the story of Steve Jobs, who was famously fired from the very company he co-founded, Apple. At first, this seemed like a devastating loss, but Jobs later reflected that this forced surrender allowed him to explore new creative ventures, like founding Pixar, which eventually led to his triumphant return to Apple. His story demonstrates that surrendering to life's unexpected turns can lead to outcomes more extraordinary than anything we could have planned. Surrender also requires humility. It's a reminder that, despite our best efforts, we are part of a larger system we cannot fully control. Nature provides countless examples of surrender. Rivers flowing effortlessly to the sea, trees shedding leaves in autumn without resistance. These natural cycles remind us that letting go is not the end, but the beginning of renewal. One way to practice surrender is to focus on the present moment. Anxiety often arises from clinging to the past or fearing the future. By grounding yourself in the now, you learn to release the what-ifs and trust what is. Meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating this mindset. Even 5 minutes a day of mindful breathing can help you let go of tension and open yourself to life's flow. Another strategy is to reframe challenges as opportunities. When faced with setbacks, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Often, life's detours carry valuable lessons that only become clear in hindsight. By embracing this perspective, you shift from resisting change to flowing with it. Surrender is not the absence of control, but the realization that true power comes from collaboration with life, not domination over it. It's about releasing resistance and finding freedom and trust. The question is, can you loosen your grip, step into the unknown, and allow life to guide you to places beyond your imagination? Test 7, rebuilding yourself. This test is about resilience. After every fall, every failure, life asks you to rise again. J.K. Rowling once said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." Rebuilding isn't about going back to who you were. It's about becoming someone stronger and wiser. It's about learning from the ashes and creating something extraordinary. This is the Phoenix moment, rising anew, transformed by fire. Rebuilding yourself requires both courage and humility. It starts with accepting that the life you envisioned might not go as planned. Failure and setbacks, though painful, often hold the seeds of reinvention. Think about Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times while inventing the light bulb. Edison didn't view these attempts as failures. He saw them as steps toward success. His perseverance reminds us that every stumble is an opportunity to learn and adapt. The process of rebuilding isn't linear. Some days you'll feel invincible, ready to conquer the world. Other days, doubt will creep in and progress might feel impossible. The key is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. This test isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Rebuilding also demands self-compassion. Often, we are our own harshest critics, replaying our mistakes over and over. But growth requires forgiveness. Forgiveness for others, and most importantly for yourself. By letting go of self-judgment, you free up energy to focus on the future rather than dwelling on the past. One of the most inspiring examples of rebuilding is Bethany Hamilton, the professional surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack. Instead of giving up on her passion, she adapted, learning to surf with one arm and becoming a world champion. Her story teaches us that resilience isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about using it to fuel your determination. Rebuilding also involves redefining success. Maybe the goals you once pursued no longer serve you. This test asks, what truly matters to you now? Use this as an opportunity to align your actions with your values. Journaling can be a helpful tool during this phase, allowing you to reflect on what you've learned and how you want to move forward. Another key to rebuilding is seeking support. Whether it's friends, mentors, or a community, surrounding yourself with people who believe in your potential can make all the difference. They remind you of your worth when you might have forgotten it. Ultimately, rebuilding yourself is about embracing transformation. Like the phoenix, you emerge from the fire stronger, more resilient, and more attuned to your purpose. It's not just about survival, it's about thriving. The question is, when life asks you to rebuild, will you rise to the challenge and create something extraordinary? Test 8. Connecting with nature. In the chaos of modern life, we often lose touch with the natural world. Yet reconnecting with nature is one of the most grounding and transformative experiences you can have. This test invites you to step away from the artificial and immerse yourself in the rhythms of the earth. Nature teaches us patience, resilience, and balance, qualities we desperately need in our fast-paced lives. Consider the story of John Muir, the father of the national parks movement in the United States. Muir's deep connection with nature not only shaped his personal philosophy, but also inspired the preservation of millions of acres of wilderness. His belief that humans are an integral part of the natural world reminds us that nature is not separate from us. It is within us. Spending time in nature doesn't have to mean a grand expedition to a national park. It can be as simple as walking barefoot on grass, listening to the sound of birds, or sitting by a flowing river. These moments of connection allow you to pause and reflect, to breathe deeply and let go of stress. Science even backs this up. Studies show that spending time in green spaces reduces anxiety, boosts creativity, and enhances overall well-being. Nature also reminds us of the cycles of life. Trees shed their leaves in autumn, not out of despair, but to prepare for renewal in spring. Similarly, you might need to let go of old patterns or beliefs to make room for growth. Nature's example shows us that change, though sometimes painful, is necessary for transformation. A powerful exercise to deepen your connection with nature is earthing. Take off your shoes and place your feet on the ground. Feel the texture of the earth beneath you. This simple act creates a sense of grounding, connecting you physically and energetically to the planet. Another practice is forest bathing, a Japanese tradition of spending intentional time among trees to rejuvenate the mind and body. Through nature, we also learn humility. Standing beneath a towering redwood or gazing at a star-filled sky reminds us of how small we are in the grand scheme of things. Yet this realization isn't disempowering, it's freeing. It helps us let go of ego and embrace our place in the interconnected web of life. Ultimately, connecting with nature is about remembering who you are at your core. It's about stepping away from distractions and tuning into the natural harmony that has always been there. When you align yourself with the rhythms of the earth, you find clarity, peace, and a deeper sense of purpose. The question is, when was the last time you truly listened to nature? And more importantly, are you ready to let it guide you back to yourself? Test 9. Awakening. The final test is perhaps the most profound, awakening to your true purpose and the deeper truths of existence. This isn't about achieving enlightenment in some far-off sense. It's about seeing the world and yourself with clarity. Awakening means understanding that you are not separate from life. You are life, intricately connected to everything around you. Awakening often comes after a period of intense struggle, where you faced your fears, let go of control, and rebuilt yourself from the ground up. Think of Eckhart Tolle, whose life transformed after experiencing what he described as a spiritual awakening during a period of deep depression. His realization that suffering comes from identifying too much with the mind led to his groundbreaking book, The Power of Now. Tolle's story illustrates that awakening is not about escaping life, but about fully living it in the present moment. This test challenges you to move beyond ego-driven desires and align with your higher self. It's about recognizing that the struggles you faced were not random, but part of a greater design, helping you uncover your true essence. The illusions of separation, competition, and fear begin to dissolve, leaving behind a sense of unity and purpose. One powerful way to embrace awakening is through mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness helps you observe life without judgment, allowing you to experience each moment fully. As you become more present, you start to notice the interconnectedness of everything, how your actions ripple outward, and how life subtly guides you toward growth. Another key to awakening is gratitude. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your perspective and open your heart. Gratitude anchors you in the present and reminds you of the abundance that surrounds you. Start each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. This practice trains your mind to see beauty and possibility in the everyday. Awakening is also about service. As you step into your purpose, you realize that true fulfillment comes not from what you take, but from what you give. Whether it's through acts of kindness, sharing your talents, or uplifting others, service deepens your connection to the world and reinforces your sense of purpose. This final test is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new one. Awakening doesn't mean you'll never face challenges again. It means you'll approach them with a new perspective, grounded in wisdom and love. The question is, are you ready to awaken? Are you ready to see yourself and life as they truly are? Beautiful, interconnected, and limitless. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the 9 spiritual tests. Each challenge we explored is more than just an obstacle. It's an opportunity to grow, transform, and discover the deepest truths about yourself. Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your true purpose. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Tap that like button to let us know, share it with someone who might need this message, and subscribe to Inner Peace Journey for more insights, inspiration, and tools to navigate your path to peace and fulfillment. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss our next video. Your journey doesn't end here. These tests are not just checkpoints, they are gateways to a life of resilience, clarity, and joy. Stay curious, stay open, and most importantly, stay connected to your inner strength. Until next time, keep walking your path with courage and grace. We'll see you in the next video.